Hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in D.C.
Okay. Cool.
I'd love for it to be in D.C.
Hold on tight, boxing fans. The excitement is real. Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. are getting ready for a thrilling rematch after their controversial draw on March 1st. People in the boxing world are saying both fighters really want to settle the score. Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, said the rematch is very close to being confirmed. In his opinion, it's almost a done deal. There are still a few small steps left, but Davis seems more focused than ever and may even stop talking about retirement. This next fight is set to be an exciting showdown you won't want to miss.
Important question on everyone's mind. How close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal and it's not far off. I can't give you more than that right now, but what I can tell you is that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think you got dynamics. You've got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused than he has been, not talking about retirement. That's a factor.
The first fight between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st, 2025, left the boxing world full of excitement and controversy. The match took place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and ended in a majority draw. The judges scored it 115-113 for Davis and 114-114 on the other two cards. A key moment happened in the 9th round when Davis went down on one knee. Many people believed it should have been called a knockdown in Roach's favor. However, referee Steve Willis didn't count it, which started a big debate among fans and boxing experts.
Welcome into the ProBox TV studio. The story we've been dealing with all week, the fallout, of course, from Lamont Roach Jr. and GervontaDavis. The fight ended up being a majority draw. The controversy around a 9th round knockout that was not called by the referee that would have completely changed the outcome of the fight and perhaps changed boxing history.
For me, Tank Davis fighting a minus 1,600 as your main event odds is crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. That underdog lived up to the hype. He ended up, overperforming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some politics to keep Davis as champion. You ever see guys getting the referee their own fight? Dude, anybody else takes that knee, you're getting counted, bro. The referee, actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. If you notice, Steve Willis started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper outside the ring, wasn't counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. Earlier in the fight, if you saw that shoulder barge that Tank did to Roach in the clinch, he didn't get a warning, but Roach's reaction got the warning. This is the politics we're dealing with. You keep doing this, you're looking at short-term money and long-term destruction of a sport.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my.
Some critics believe Davis went down on one knee on purpose during the 9th round of his fight with Roach. They say he did it to break Roach's rhythm and take back control of the match. By going down voluntarily, Davis may have been trying to give himself a few extra seconds to recover instead of risking being overpowered by Roach's aggressive attack. Many fans and experts think this was a clever veteran move to stop Roach's momentum.
It has the last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta Tank Davis and survived. The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach, in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong, and that man went ahead and cooked, and he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown, but now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight drained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash ruling.
However, a boxing fan named Leonardus Maximus IV didn't hold back when talking about the controversial moment in Gervonta Davis's fight against Roach. He pointed out that Davis took a clean jab, with most of the impact hitting his left eye, the same eye his corner had to treat between rounds. Many people believe that moment should have been called a knockdown in Roach's favor, adding more controversy after the fight. Leonardus even tweeted, "This isn't a good look for Gervonta Davis. He took a clean jab with the brunt of the impact on his left eye, the same one his corner had to tend to. This should have been ruled a clear knockdown for Lamont Roach."
It wasn't a braid. It wasn't oil in his eye. Tank got peppered. Jab, jab, cross. Listen to Lamont Roach talk about when he knocked Tank down in the 9th and the 10-8 wasn't called. Even Wild, Lamont Roach is yelling at the ref.
Knockdown that wasn't in round number 9. Gervonta Davis takes a knee, you landed a right hand, then 2 jabs afterward. What were you thinking when this happened?
Man, I was surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I thought it was a 10-8. Like that's what really was going on. Like, but like I was confused when he looked at the ref, but when he took the knee, I was like, and I grasped the concept that he was on the ground. I was like, that's a 10-8. Yeah. Simple.
You asked him, right? Why you stopped?
Yeah, I asked him literally. I said, why you stop counting?
Now, to Lamont's point, you will see it and you will hear it. Him ask the referee to keep counting. Here it is.
It's got to be a knockdown. It's happening.
Nobody knows what's going on.
ESPN analysts also spoke out about Davis's performance and the controversy in the 9th round. They questioned whether Davis's explanation was honest and showed concern about how focused and prepared he really was. Smith said, "In boxing, distractions can be costly. Champions must be fully prepared, both mentally and physically." Kellerman added, "This incident raises questions about Davis's training and how carefully he pays attention to the details."
Yo, what's poppin'? It's Rock Solid, the beast of rap. Big baby! Yo, man, I got some good ass videos and takes on this Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis fight. If you have not seen it, you need to go look at it now. Go look from the first one to the last one, all right? Don't go from the top to the bottom. Go and look for the video I did immediately after the fight and then watch after, bro. Talking about everything. But Stephen A. Smith chimed in on the Gervonta Davis or Lamont Roach fight. I want y'all to know what Stephen A. Smith said.
I was stunned.
Lamont Roach posted this on his Instagram profile. He said, "I gotta stand down and give mad respect to Lamont Roach. Brother fought one hell of a fight. This was a damn close fight. Gervonta taking a knee should have been a knockdown. Either way, Roach has skills, fought his ass off, deserves nothing but respect. He earned the boxing world's attention tonight. He has mine. Thought he'd be too small. I was wrong. Roach.
Davis explained that the incident happened because of a hair treatment he had 2 days before the fight. He said the grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat during the match, which caused a burning feeling in his eyes. In his post-fight interview, Davis showed frustration about the crowd's boos. He said his reaction was real and caused by the unexpected irritation, not an attempt to change the flow of the fight or gain an advantage.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
After the fight, roaches. Team appealed to the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, to overturn the draw, saying the referee made a mistake. Although the commission admitted there was an error, they decided to keep the original result. This left Roach disappointed, but it also made him more determined than ever to win clearly in a rematch.
No timeouts in boxing. Why are you taking? You know that. You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm like confused because that's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. If that's a 10-8 round, I win the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that draw turned into a 115-114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right? You see that you down on the scorecard.
For Roach, the rematch is a chance to prove himself and strengthen his position in the boxing world. After the first fight, he said he believed he deserved a place in the pound-for-pound rankings because of how well he performed against a tough opponent like Davis. Roach has shown his confidence on social media, where he's responded to both critics and fans, even going as far as offering big bets on the outcome of the rematch.
I happen to be a boxing fan, that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July. Roach entered the ring as the underdog, but he walked, out proving all the doubters wrong. From the very first round, he showed his skill, toughness, and determination against the heavily favored GervontaDavis. Roach landed sharp combinations, controlled the pace at times, and even had Davis in trouble. Many fans believed he had done enough to win, and the majority draw only added more fuel to the debate. Roach didn't just compete, he put on a show, silenced the critics, and proved he belongs among boxing's elite. He's now demanding the respect he earned and a rematch he clearly deserves.
When has the last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta Tank Davis and survived? The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach, in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong, and that man went ahead and cooked, and he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown, but now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murrays, Sport Waves, the Soul Glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight drained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash.
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith shared his worries about Roach's size disadvantage against Davis. He said, I think Roach is too small. That's my issue. I'm not questioning his skills or anything like that. Other boxing experts, including former interim WBC lightweight champion Ryan Garcia, also shared this view. Garcia commented, I don't think Roach has the firepower to stop Tank. He has great skills, but he really has no chance.
My picks on 3 fights taking place Saturday night at the Barclays Center in New York City between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, Gary Russell versus Jose Valenzuela, and Sandor Martin versus Alberto Puello. Gervonta Davis uses knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being a kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches before he ultimately catches him. And that's how I view it. So I'm going to go with more on this particular one.
For Davis, the rematch is a chance to prove once again that he's the top fighter in the lightweight division. Known for his knockout power and undefeated record, the draw against Roach was a rare setback that he's eager to erase. Reports suggest that Davis is approaching the rematch with even more intensity, possibly putting aside his previous talks of retirement to focus entirely on this crucial fight.
Like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing leading to this last fight, you know, so I just feel like he just wasn't.
Coach Barry Hunter admitted that Gervonta Davis sometimes stopped using his jab during the fight, which allowed Lamont Roach to stay competitive. The jab is an important tool for controlling distance and setting up powerful punches, and by not using it consistently, Davis made the fight closer than it should have been. Additionally, in the later rounds, Davis seemed confused about how many rounds were left.
Come of the fight, and if you thought that them knowing each other and growing up together contributed to the performance.
Yes and no. I thought that Tank was boxing early on. I thought we abandoned our jab somewhat in the fight a little bit. But down the stretch, I thought maybe, I believe, 2 or 3 rounds, I can't remember, Calvin, was one of the rounds that...
We needed 3 rounds, and he it just went down, he just, like we said, we looked at 3 rounds. Barry was calling out, yo, I need 3. We got 1. I need 2.
Boxing analyst Timothy Bradley recently shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's attitude before his rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. He emphasized that Davis's confidence, no matter how others see him, shows a dangerous mindset for his opponent. Reacting to Davis's relaxed attitude, Bradley said that Davis has reached a point where outside opinions don't affect him, and that could lead to an even stronger performance in the ring. Bradley tweeted, whether he looks confident or not, he knows who he is. There's a superpower in that, and he's going to take that out on Lamont Roach. I feel sorry for Roach. Bradley suggests that Davis's self-assurance could make him more aggressive and focused, making him an even bigger threat in the rematch.
The first one we saw was he stood alone. He stood alone on the platform. He did the whole conference by himself, right? Press tour by himself, and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I respect a man that can stand on his own 2 feet, for real. But this one right here, having that picture leak, him looking real zesty, and not giving a fuck, whoo, trying to tell y'all, my man is on a new level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that song, we on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. Yes, my dude is on a new level, man, because he know who he is. There's a power in knowing who you is. Most people don't know who the hell they are. right? They don't know who the hell they are. They think they know, but they really don't know who they are. It takes you a while to figure out. We're constantly evolving as a human, right? Constantly evolving, right? But now you know. Tank know now. So that's why he don't give a damn. Having that power, that superpower, not giving a damn. And see, that's the reason why I can come to you guys, come to YouTube. I can, sit in front of you. I can hear the boos. I can hear the, you didn't beat Pacquiao. I can hear the big head, the milk dud, the coon, the, all the names that everybody always call me. That's why I can sit here and just still be myself and do what I do. Because I just don't give a about what anybody thinks. And Tank has gotten that superpower too now, baby. He just don't give a. Tank gonna be Tank. Tank gonna do what Tank gonna do. That's just it. Whether he looking zesty or not, he know who he is. There's a superpower to that. And guess who he gonna take that out on? He gonna take that out on Lamont Roach, man. I feel sorry for Roach. Roach is a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He is. But I'm telling you, this Tank right here is different. It's a different dude. All right. Did y'all see the weight too? Did y'all see the weight? The dude can fight tomorrow. The dude can fight today. The dude can fight whenever. It's a few weeks away, a few months away from the fight. Woo. I'm telling y'all.